Alrighty, what's going on, y'all? What is poppin'? Well, we know what's poppin'. We had an election this week.
We got a president-elect.
But before we get into that, a couple bits of housekeeping. Number one.
We dusting the floors?
We are now on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Pocket Cast, and a couple other ones. All those links are in one of the tweet that I shared with the latest podcast episode. That's also posted on YouTube. So now we're on multiple platforms. We got Twitch, we got YouTube, and we got all of your other just media listening platforms.
Spreaker,
so,
I believe is what you're thinking of, right?
No, the podcast hosting service I'm using didn't have that one, but I think it was called Breaker.
Cool. Well,
so we're out there. We're out there on a lot of different platforms.
We're out there doing the thing.
Super cool.
Doing the damn thing.
Yes, sir. Shout out to my little brother for showing me that, because he's doing that actually for our family podcast as well, which is Faye Answered Questions, also on YouTube and those other platforms. Shameless plug. My next bit of housekeeping is the Chiefs won today. So huge. That was nice. Let's go Chiefs.
That's housekeeping?
Yeah, always. And another bit of housekeeping, Arkansas also won. So woo damn pig. 24 unanswered points against Tennessee on Saturday. Crapped on them. Let's go.
How many losses do you guys have?
We are 3-3 right now, but technically we should be 4-2.
Oh my god! Don't even start with that shit. We're 5-2. Look 'em.
Anyways.
Oh.
As an Arkansas fan, I'm obligated.
Meet me at the bowl. Meet me at the bowl. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
We did the last time we met you at a bowl game. We trounced you.
That was like
years ago.
How many years ago? Yeah.
At least 7.
Yeah.
Anyway, so now that all that's out of the way, let's get into the real meat and potatoes of this. And if you guys weren't here Tuesday, we did a live election coverage Tuesday that went on for 7 to like midnight. We were up for like 5 hours watching stuff happen.
It was a long time.
Yeah. So that happened, and now finally, coming up almost on a week later, we have a president-elect in Joe Biden. So President-elect Joe Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris. Now, that being said, the Trump camp has filed lawsuits in the majority of those battleground states. They are citing in those lawsuits that they were not given reasonable means or weren't allowed to observe the ballot counting, and that they were told they needed to stay, in their words, at least 25 feet away, and they weren't able to get close enough to monitor and look at the counting of the ballots to make sure that they were legitimate and all this other stuff. So that's happening. So we have until January 20th, I believe, is in Inauguration Day. They'll probably get this all hammered out, hopefully before then. But you've got those lawsuits that we're going to have to go through. The Trump camp believes they have enough evidence. It could go to the Supreme Court. I don't know. We'll see. I'm predicting that the courts themselves are probably not going to overturn anything. There will be recounts, though. There will be recounts.
Here's what I think is going to happen. Monday, his team is going to bring him together after he's played golf all weekend, and they're going to be like, look, Donnie, we lost. Man, we're cooked. There's no way out of this. Don't make people do recounts, because that's just going to bring a worse name to yourself. Like, we're done here. Pack it up. Pack out. Let's go home.
Nah, see, I'm going to disagree with you there.
That's what he should do.
That's what he should do, but I don't think his team's going to pull him to do that. They've got these lawsuits filed. They're going to want to recount. They're adamant. They're adamant that there was an abundance of voter fraud, which, I mean, that happens every election, and I'm not saying that's a good thing.
Any recount in history swings the vote by less than 0.01%.
Right. So
there's really nothing. There's no path for him anymore.
They're gonna do the recount. I think he's expecting there to be like thousands upon thousands of dead people that voted.
Even if Georgia flipped after a recount, Nevada's not gonna flip, dude.
No.
Like it's done.
Yeah.
He didn't win.
And somebody was telling me that I'm gonna have to fact check this, but I'm pretty sure that the governor of Michigan came out and said, there was a glitch in our voting software, and it sent 6,000 votes to Biden when they should have gone to Trump, and then like 6 or 7 other counties in Michigan were like, oh yeah, we had the same thing happen. So
I mean, that would be the only way that he could mount something like that, as if there was some grave, horrible error in the counting. But
I don't know. I know the recounts are going to happen, but I don't think that it's going to be enough of a change in the count to change the outcome.
No.
If for some reason that there was overwhelming evidence that there was a massive amount of voter fraud and all these other things went south, and the election got overturned, then like we've been pretty decent so far. No riots or anything like crazy like that. I feel like if the count or the election were to be overturned, this country would burn. Shit would go south fast.
It would be not good.
It would look like a third world election.
It would be not good. That's for sure.
Things are not going to go well. Things are not going to go well at all. 100K plus COVID cases per day, though. Yeah, I mean, yes, we're on the uptick of there's more COVID cases, but my thing with that is you can't really blame the president for that. I don't really understand the justification of people like, oh, it's Trump's fault. He killed 200,000 people. Well, no, personally, he did not kill 200,000 people. It's a disease. People's own negligence also played a factor into that, among other things. Yes, he reopened the economy, but it was because he didn't want it to just shit the bed.
Well, he also could have handled it a lot better and a lot more presidential.
Also, that as well, everything. And that's the biggest
everything. He beat himself.
It's the biggest thing through all of this, right? So, back in 2016, everybody looked at him and was like, great, he's going to be the proverbial, or the whatever you want to call it, brick through the window, bull in the china shop, whatever other analogy you want to put with that, because he's not a politician. He's going to walk in there and shake things up and drain the swamp, like he said, and blah, 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 blah. All right, cool, fine. That's why you elected him. And then we get 4 years into it, and I don't really like the guy, and I'm not trying to, say I support him 100% and all this other stuff. But from where I'm sitting, yes, he did some things bad, but also he did a lot of other things that weren't terrible. Like, he wasn't an awful president, in my opinion. What people really get hung up on is how tactless he is. The man has zero tact, and for some people that's well and good, and that's super great. It means he doesn't beat around the bush. He's not two-sided with his words. He's just very direct. But as I was discussing this with people earlier today, you're the president of the United States. Perceived as the leader of the free world, right? Your words carry weight. No matter what you say or how you say it, your words carry weight. So you have to be very selective and very smart about how you say certain things. And a lot of people did not like how, he didn't do that. He was just straight, to the point, very crass, and very direct. And some of those things that that hurt him in that aspect, where he gave silly nicknames to the people that opposed him and the people in other countries that he wasn't a fan of, or were enemies of him. Just for example, he calls Joe Biden Sleepy Joe, Hillary Clinton he calls her Crooked Hillary, all these other things. That is not it's not the best look for the president to be actively calling people, basically just calling people names like a third grade
No,
bully.
he viewed it like a comedy hour, and he thought he could win.
It was a popularity
again,
contest.
like on a popularity contest, like a comedy hour, and he found out that's not what people vote for.
Right, and
not what people want to run the country.
And shoot, I just lost my thought right there. R.I.P. thought.
Way to go!
Rest
right in the
peace.
middle of a podcast. Great work.
Rest in peace, thought. 2020 to 2020.
The most excited I am about the outcome of the election is that I truly do. People will see now that it's not all Trump's fault that the government is as fucked up as it is.
Right, and
you'd be like, wait a minute, I thought we voted for Biden and things were gonna be great and we're all gonna be equal, and
I know, and I've seen a lot of people post things like that, and I've refrained from commenting back on people's posts and being like, you guys know that this is not all going to get fixed in 4 years.
It's not going to fix itself.
It's not going to fix it
with
just
a different person in there.
It's not going to be like, oh, Biden's president, everything's fixed. Like the last 4 years didn't happen. These things take time, and the Republicans are going to do the same thing the Democrats did to Trump while he was in the office.
Biden's got his hands deep into some pockets of some lobbyists in some foreign countries. There's a lot of things.
That are still got to get unpacked.
They don't feel the best right now. I'm not saying, I could be wrong. I'm not coming out and saying like, oh, he has foreign ties or whatever. Like, I'm just saying there's some weird things behind the scenes that's a little bit wonky right now. So
it's heavily suspected.
I pray that man comes out and unifies our country and everything goes to hunky-dory and we're all best friends again and we're all Americans and one nation under God. I hope that happens, but I'm just saying I don't see that writing on the wall right now.
No, I don't either. And the other thing that gets me now is, I've seen this a lot. It's always one-sided. Nobody can look, at themselves when they do this. So remember back in 2016 that, the left freaked out when Trump was elected.
Oh yeah.
And all of the people on the right were like, oh, look at all these people freaking out, whining and crying, blah 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 blah. Well, now the script has flipped. Now I see the left going, oh, look at all these salty Trumpers, blah 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 blah, and it's like you just want to stop and take both sides and go, you guys realize you both are you're doing the same exact thing. You guys were the left was mad and upset when you got called out for whining and crying when Trump got elected, and now you're gonna we just conveniently forgot how we felt during that time, and now we're directing it all back on the people that are whining and crying that Biden is elected. And
same argument, different name.
Yep, and something my dad sent the other day in our family group chat was, it was he talked about the not my president stuff. So it was like Trump got elected, the left was like hashtag not my president. So now, what if it goes this way? So now the right's like hashtag not my president, and all I did was send a meme back of Thanos with the little knife on his thing, and I was like, perfectly balanced as all things should be. Like, that's basically like how it went. It was like, no, this side's gonna cry, and now we just whoop. Now this side's gonna cry, and it remains balanced. It's just both sides are just so far up their own ass that they can't see that they're doing exactly the same thing that the other side did 4 years ago. Lacey's here. Hi, Lacey.
What's up, Lacey? I saw a tweet that's like, there's going to be a lot of guys shooting a lot of videos in their trucks this week. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Pretty accurate.
It's going to be those dudes with the dash mount in their big ass truck compensating for what's the lack of something somewhere else, and it's going to be the phone here posted up there and be like, burr, 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 and it's just.
Now, listen. I don't know a lot about how this works, all right, but I do know that Trump got screwed.
I'm just a dumb country boy in a big truck, and all I know about is plowing fields and planting corn. But I tell you this, by God, Trump got fucked. And it's like, okay, your evidence where? Can we critically think? No, you have about 3 brain cells.
Not to change the subject, but I think the Cardinals lost to the Dolphins and screwed up my 6-team parlay.
Oof, that sucks.
No.
And one of the other things I've
No.
seen a lot of today.
That was the last one of 6 teams. All I needed was the Cardinals to close.
Oof. It feels bad, man.
Feels not good.
Feels how the Trumpers
Feels
feel
very
right now.
bad. I feel like how Donald Trump feels. I feel defeated.
One of the other things I've seen today, a lot of people have posted, and it's a lot of support and positivity for Kamala Harris. Like, yay, first woman, like, lady
Fuck
VP,
Kamala
yada yada
Harris,
yada
dude.
yada. Okay, I'll
Now
give
that
you
my
this.
parlay lost, I'm even more agitated.
I'll give you this. Yes, it is historic that, and you know, good that a woman is the vice president. Cool.
Happy for that.
That's great. That sets a good precedent. Which, I mean, we didn't have to set a precedent for it. Like, it was always, it could have always been a possibility, but now it happened.
On paper, I'm happy for that.
Yeah, on paper and looking at that, like, cool, great. Another milestone, another step forward for that side of things. The shitty side of it is that it's fucking Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
And what sucks is that everybody is like, oh my god, this is great, yada yada yada, she's gonna do so many great things, blah blah blah. And they all have forgotten what she did when she was a prosecutor in California. And how terrible of a person she is for the things that she did back then. And we're all so quick to forgive, everybody's so quick to forgive her because she said she's sorry and that she's changed and she won't do that. Bullshit. Not gonna happen. This lady who, and I don't want to get into this, but she claims to be African American, is a proponent and a supporter. You know, she claims that she's a supporter of, you know, minority communities, African American communities, all of these things.
Ethnicity aside, you know.
But yeah, even so,
Yeah,
put
that aside.
So at this point, I'm trying to make is
No, I know
ties
the point
ties
that you're
into
trying
that.
to make. Yeah.
But like, so all the bills and the laws she introduced, many of them targeted minorities specifically, the people she now claims to be on the side of and support. And we've said this before, so she's introduced those bills that targeted minorities specifically, large crime bills.
She kept people on death row.
She kept people on death row, refused
to overturn DNA evidence.
DNA evidence, blocked evidence
she
from
knew
coming to court.
Would have completely cleared these people's names because she didn't want to lose high-profile murder cases.
And she introduced things to keep labor in the prisons in California for cents on the dollar. All right. And it's just a horrible person. I'll be right back, guys. Alex, you got it.
Oh, hey, cheeky fella.
No, I didn't see that.
And Mr. Goku is here. Cheeky fella and I played a golf scramble today together.
Oh, nice. Welcome, Cheeky Fella. I saw that you followed, so I appreciate that.
We won first place of the third flight, which won us a $100 gift card.
Oh, heck yeah.
Strong.
Real strong.
But yeah, no, fuck Kamala Harris because she is not a good person.
Mr. Goku's here too. What's up,
Not
bud?
at all.
Thanks for stopping by. But Mission Failed said this is the legit game of Among Us. Kamala sus voter. There are 2 imposters among us. Kamala Harris confirmed one of them. Get her out. And this is the other thing I'll say about this. Like I've said before, and I'm not trying to be an ass or anything to Joe Biden, or just to
yeah, sure you're not.
Okay, whatever. That aside, little bit of background. My granddad on my dad's side, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned this at some point, has Alzheimer's right now. Like, he's pretty far into it, and it sucks. but I remember talking to him on the phone and how my dad talked about it when it first started to affect him. And Joe Biden is acting the same way my granddad did when Alzheimer's started hitting him. So I'm gonna say, I'll say this, and I've probably said this before. I'll give that dude max 2 years before he's either declared unfit, which would be a really bad look for him. So what'll probably happen is somebody will pull him aside at some point within that time frame. This is just my opinion, and we'll look at him and go, hey, what's a good look for you right now? What needs to happen? Instead of us telling you you're unfit, is you need to say that you yourself are unfit and you can't do this anymore. And
we're done here.
Because your mind is gone, and the drugs we have you on aren't helping. So you need to step down and let Kamala take it. And that is the only reason that she is his vice presidential candidate. Hooray, the DNC looked at that and said, because Joe Biden was, if you all remember during the campaign, he said, I would love to have a black woman as my vice presidential candidate. And the DNC said, your wishes are command. Enter Kamala Harris, who, before this, had openly said he's a creep, she doesn't like him, and she doesn't want to be associated with him. And then, weeks later, here we are.
Ben, when we're on the campaign trail, we all say things, about our opponents that, that we don't necessarily mean. And who was the focal point of the DNC before Tulsi Gabbard absolutely destroyed her on the debate stage? That would be one Kamala Harris.
Right. So,
and as soon as Tulsi Gabbard got done destroying her, which of the Democratic Party, Tulsi Gabbard's one of my favorites.
I would have voted for her if she was on the ballot.
Don't agree with everything she has to say, but like her, served tours in Afghanistan. I'm down. Like, she would
have got a lot of the
my trust a lot quicker than Trump does. I'll be honest about that. And so as soon as she gets done destroying her on the debate stage, Hillary Clinton calls her a puppet for the Russian government or some bullshit like
that. Which
that.
makes absolutely no sense.
And then they're like, oh, fuck, we can't send Kamala up there anymore, so we'll just send Joe up there, and then we'll just kind of disguise Kamala in the background as VP, and voila.
Voila, and so here we are.
Here we are.
The Democrats are looking at this going, all right, Joe's fucking losing his mind. There's no way he makes it an entire term as president, because once that stress starts as being president, it's not a easy job, right? You're in charge of a country, and a lot of the free world looks to you to go, hey, what are we doing, bro? So he's got that.
This is my son. I mean, this is my son, and this is my granddaughter. I mean, this is Haley Biden. Like, dude, are you here right now?
No, he was absolutely not.
Where are you?
So we're gonna look at this.
What's happening? Like,
so the Democrats looked at this and said,
"It's literally election day, bro. Like, reel it in a little bit to know who's under your arm."
It's all part of the plan, man. The Democrats looked at that and said, "We'll give this guy X amount of time. It's gonna hit the fan. His mind's gonna go. Get him out." And then lo and behold, now we have the first female president, who is ethnically some sort of like she's not white, basically. She's the first non-white female president, which is like multiple checks in the boxes for the Democratic Party.
All of the checks.
The only saving grace in that fact is that I believe the Senate is what has the Republican majority right now.
House is Democrats.
So they'll
Senate's
push.
Going to be Republican.
They'll push through whatever the fuck comes down the pipeline.
Years.
What's going to happen after that, though, Biden or Kamala, if they want to do anything, is the Republicans are going to do the same thing the Democrats did the last 4 years, and they're going to stonewall everything that Biden or Kamala, God forbid that happens, want to put out. They're going to stonewall it and fuck them around like the Democrats did to Trump this entire 4 years. I know I sound like I'm a Trump supporter right now, but I'm literally just giving you the facts of what happened.
No,
I'm not trying to say
that's correct.
I'm supporting him.
And the Supreme Court is Republican as well. So you'll have the Senate and the Supreme Court as the majority Republican, and then you'll have the House and the White House as blue.
Democrats.
And
And
it'll
we're just
be a
gonna
whole
sit
bunch
here
of fucking bickering and
on our hands.
Back and forth for 4 years. And, yeah, your taxes will go up a little bit.
Yep. But probably more than a little bit. And he's going to try and come after your guns, but good luck with that.
I don't
literally,
think he's
the
gonna get
first
anywhere
10
with that.
amendments in the Constitution are basically never ever going to get touched. Like, you can try, but the amendment process to the Constitution is not simple, and you've got to get a lot of people on board with that. And the one thing you're not going to get a lot of people on board with is amending the Second Amendment. Like, people are going to be like, absolutely not, you're not taking my fucking guns.
I don't think that'll happen.
Because
honestly.
that's a slippery slope. Doing that kind of shit is a slippery slope into a socialist dictator. I don't know what. Okay, that's a little aggressive, but it's a slope into socialism. Because the first thing that happens is they take your freedom of speech to tell you can't say certain things, yada yada yada. We're kind of there now. The second step is we're taking your guns. So now the populace can't fight back, and then we just keep going from there. So
that's. I don't think we're
not
headed towards that.
Yeah, I don't think we're headed to that.
I mean, if we are, I don't. Let me put it this way: I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility, but that's not on my projection or my forecast. I
will say this: if people don't get smart and like really start educating themselves and looking into things and reading about different people's platforms instead of just voting red or blue, what can happen, and this has happened in a lot of different places that are dealing with socialism or have dealt with socialism in the past, is this: you can vote your way into socialism very easily. To get out of socialism, more often than not, you got to shoot your way out of it.
Well, yeah.
Look at Venezuela. Look at Cuba. To a degree, look at the Nazis. When that happened, that started a war. So they had to, everybody had to shoot their way out of that one. I'm not saying we're heading that direction, but if people don't wisen up and stop, and don't start thinking for themselves, it's a possibility.
I think we're going to be all right. The one exciting part for me about Biden winning this term, kind of like I mentioned earlier, is people are going to see that not a lot of things are going to change, and we don't have riots in the streets because
Alex froze.
We don't want our country to be strong-armed into voting for one person or another. But that being said, I'm glad that there's not riots and looting going on right now.
I will say that I am thankful that there is not riots or anything like that.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about this before. For the left side, it sounds like I'm just bagging on the left the entire time, but for the left and the Democrats trying to be like, oh no, we don't want people, we don't, violence is not the answer, yada yada yada, all this other stuff. And the last time shit went south, it wasn't people of the conservative or the Republican persuasion that were out there rioting and throwing bottles and like tearing shit down. It was people on the other side.
And that's not necessarily what the response has been from the left also when it comes to a lot of these riots. It's peaceful protest, which great.
Peacefully protest, that's fine. It's the bad apples.
Peacefully protest your heart out.
It's that 5% that I've talked about before.
We've had this conversation so many times.
I know.
It's the 5% of each side that
somehow
draws the attention of the 95% of the other side.
I don't understand how 5% can be so damn loud to just everybody goes, what? And instead of going, oh, what? And looking at that 5% and going, shut up, stop talking, shut up, you're crazy. They're just like, hey, maybe these guys have a point. And they just sit there and listen to them, and then same on the other side, and so the small minority with the loudest voices are perpetrating the narratives more so than the rest of everybody that's like, hey, nah, bro, we're not,
yeah.
Like, that's not us, but you're being really loud and you're talking over us, so I guess we're just gonna sit here and we'll see what happens.
I'm glad that we're not rioting. We're not looting. Our country seems overall happy that the orange man is gone.
Right.
I hope that our national security stands up the way that it's standing up right now. And if my taxes have to go up a little bit in between then and now, I'm okay with that. I don't want our country to be forever strong-armed into voting for one person or another. But for right now, I'm okay with the Republican Senate, Democratic President, Republican House, Republican Supreme Court, and Democratic House. I'm okay with that right now. I feel like that puts us in a good situation. So I feel good about where we're at right now.
I'm not torn up about it either. And honestly, when people like I was at drill this weekend, right? So I was around a lot of military guys, and there was one guy that was around he's a Trumper, and he's very loud and vocal about how pissed off he is.
A lot of dudes, a lot of trucks, right?
Yeah, well, he drives
a lot of dudes, a lot of trucks.
Motorcycle and a Camaro, so.
Oh, okay.
The city,
even better.
The city equivalent. So he's all pissed off about it, and is fully convinced that there's for sure going to be a recount. The Supreme Court's going to get involved. Bro. Yeah, and he's like, oh, it's a conspiracy at this point. And there's a lot of other people military wise that were less vocal about it, but they were like, it's not. We're not super stoked that Biden's president. And meanwhile, I'm over here sitting. Have a good stream, but I gotta get some homework done. Hey, no worries, cheeky fella. Appreciate you stopping by and dropping that follow. And good job on Alex for getting the word out and getting us another follower. But yeah, so they're sitting there, everybody's like talking about it and arguing. I'm just kind of sitting over there like, well, in all honesty, I don't have a dog in this fight at all. I don't really want to get roped into this conversation because I didn't vote for either one of those two old white dudes. So I'm not super invested in that conversation. But it was interesting just to sit back and watch and hear what everybody, what people had to say, mainly from one side. There were not too many people who voted for Biden. But
are you saying not too many people in military are Biden supporters?
At least not, in my small slice of what I was at. Now, there are probably a few.
No, I'm sure that there are. I was just saying.
And majority. I've definitely seen majority, yes. And I even on base here, I've seen a few, Biden Kamala stickers on cars here and there. Which, if they're dependent, that's fine, perfectly fine. They can do that. If you're a military member, you are not allowed to put a bumper sticker like that on your car. You can't do that, no matter what. Because you're military, and it doesn't matter who you support, you still have a commander-in-chief that is not that person for now. So, they could get in a lot of trouble. The DoD definitely put out guidelines this year, more so than any other year, to really remind the military how we operate and how we need to conduct ourselves given an election year. We cannot, make official statements, and it's a whole bunch of guidelines because no matter what happens, that whoever gets voted in is our next commander-in-chief. So, technically, we're not allowed.
Yeah,
we're not allowed to badmouth them because they're in your they're the highest point in your chain of command. So,
it is what it is. And now it's going to be Biden, which is fine.
Which it's fine. It's basically just going to be 4 more years of the same, but with less crassness, probably.
Yes.
Nothing's gonna really get done. Biden's gonna get blamed for a lot of shit.
With more civil press conducts,
more civil press
without him sitting there slandering this person or the other person,
giving people funny nicknames.
Yeah, it's gonna be less entertaining. I'll say that much. Not to say that it's gonna be worse or better. I'm not taking that stance. It will be less entertaining. Because it would never fail. That guy would stand up in front of the press.
Well, you know what might happen.
And I'd be like, this motherfucker, dude.
You just kind of sit there and watch him and go, wow, he said that? That's what he said? I would
sit back and I'd be like, I can't believe this dude is still just out here talking that shit day after day.
Everybody said, look at this dude. Look at this dude.
For a while, it was like you could almost predict when he was like, and we've got the best economy. We've got the best economy in the U.S.'s history. And before the virus, the invisible virus, the invisible enemy.
The China virus, the China virus.
The invisible enemy came. we were doing great. We were doing we black unemployment was at the lowest in
lowest
US,
point it's ever been.
U.S. economy record. More.
Why did you sound like Bernie Sanders right there?
More Asians had jobs more than in any other time in American history.
You sound more like Bernie than Trump now. You definitely sounded a lot more like Bernie.
Had a few beers,
I'm not sure how true that is anymore, Mr. Goku. I'm pretty sure you can get a waiver for your asthma to join the military. Depends on how bad it is. But yeah, it's just going to be 4 more years of the same with less entertaining press conferences. Perhaps this will drive the viewership down on the major news networks. I doubt it, but this is a little hope maybe.
I think
all I know is Sean Hannity or Tucker Carlson, both of them are just super pissed right now. Yeah. And it's all for views. There's no way it's not for views. But it's just please shut up. I'm so tired of listening. I don't listen to him. I thank goodness I don't listen to him because I just can't stand him. I can't stand it.
Propaganda machine, baby.
Well, the propaganda machine on both sides
the
just
more
keeps on
views,
turning.
The better, brother.
No, I'm not avoiding your chats, Mission Fail, but I do have them up on the screen so people can read them as they pop up. It is what it is. If it's not pertinent to what we're talking about, then I avoid most of the chat. Sorry, not sorry. But yeah.
I'm just catching up right now.
But it actually took a lot less time than what I thought. We kind of just got through all of it, but it's a lot of the same stuff we've been saying. So
I know. Same old.
Same old. Oh, another news. Before I saw this right before we started, dude. Alec Trebek died this morning. He went out peacefully, surrounded by friends and family, but 2020 has claimed yet another victim. He had cancer, though.
2020, you fucking fickle bitch. For you to take 2020 and wrap it up with Alex Trebek as well, that's
rough, man.
Dude.
That's rough. That sucks.
I don't even know what to say.
He's a Canadian. He's a national treasure for 2 countries. He's a national treasure for Canada and a national treasure for America.
He is a worldly treasure.
He's a worldwide treasure.
He is forever going down as one of the most purest,
He's so wholesome. He's so wholesome.
Wholesome, best people to ever host a game show. I mean, he was always quick with the witty little comment, Guy didn't drink, he didn't smoke. And then cancer comes and gets him.
Sucks, man. R.I.P. Alex Trebek.
What happens to Jeopardy now?
I
don't want to see Jeopardy hosted by somebody else.
I'm not trying to watch Jeopardy anymore. I mean, I didn't watch it either because I'm not 85 years old. But
excuse me, I watch fucking Jeopardy all the fucking time. We would have many a Jeopardy showdowns in my household and in my parents' household because that's a true test of knowledge.
That's true.
And if you're not good at Jeopardy, I don't trust you. Honestly, if you can't sit and at least get 1 or 2 right, I don't know how much I can trust you.
You can't get 1 or 2 right, your public school system failed you.
You don't have a fucking general basic knowledge about how the world works, and you can't get 1 or 2 questions right on Jeopardy, then I don't know how much I can trust you to be around me, because I don't know how good you are with the world,
Chat said another topic, Johnny Depp. Yep, Johnny Depp thing is that's just not going away, and I don't understand this, dude. It's very clear in that whole case that Amber Heard was the assault. She was the one that assaulted him. She assaulted Johnny Depp, and he did nothing but try and avoid her and not be around her and be away from her. And now Warner Bros. Looked at this and said, "Hey, we're gonna need you to resign your role in the Wonderful Beasts #3." And Johnny was like, why? And it's because of this whole thing. And then lo and behold, Amber Heard comes back for the Snyder cut of Justice League or whatever, and they're still putting her in Aquaman 2, but they're saying, she's going to be a limited role. No. If anybody needs to be blackballed from Hollywood, it's her. Leave Johnny Depp alone. Johnny Depp has done nothing but suffer by her hand. I like Johnny Depp, and he keeps his, I don't know. I don't know him personally, honestly, but I mean, I feel like this speaks to his character. Like, the man kept his Jack Sparrow costume so he can go visit children in the hospital, sick children in hospitals. Like, he's by all appearances and for all intents and purposes, he's a stand-up guy.
Well, if you've read any of his testimony on that whole case, she is batshit crazy, and she has made countless.
And there's been so many eyewitness reports of them being like, yeah, she beat the fuck out of him.
Yeah, and she's made threat on threat on threat. Like, if you don't do this, if you don't do that, like, your Hollywood career's over.
Like, she's manipulating him and just strong-arming him and just making his life literally just generally a living hell.
If he was a female and she was the male,
this had been over forever.
He'd be in jail already. Yeah. Exactly.
But it's a very hard pill to swallow for society to think that a female could be a perpetrator of domestic violence. They're like, that doesn't fit the narrative. That's not how domestic violence is. Man beats woman, man manipulates woman, not the other way around. So how can she be beating the hell out of this man? It's because he's a nice guy. He knows. He's gonna he's not trying to like retaliate because it's just gonna make it worse, and all he wants is out. He just wants out, and he's tried for so long to get out, and she keeps manipulating it, and and all this stuff, and she's just he kept coming back because he felt bad, and she probably, I think if I read correctly, she threatened suicide if he was gonna leave, all that type of crazy shit. And so you're like, well, now I'm being manipulated with literally somebody's life on the line, so I have to stay. And eventually he was just had enough. And he's had enough, and now he's getting blackballed in Hollywood for it for no reason, because she is just making his life hell. And I hate to see it. I hate to see it for anyone, but I hate to see it for Johnny Depp.
From any gender.
For any gender, for any side, I hate to see it.
Female or male, vice versa.
And any relationship. It doesn't matter if who the parties are. You just hate to see it for somebody, and I hate to see it for Johnny Depp because he seems to be a really genuine, nice dude.
Seems to be a great guy.
And he's just really getting the raw end of the deal on this one.
Yeah.
And it sucks. And it really sucks.
The whole short end of the stick.
And I hate it, and Hollywood's just like,
major bummer.
Johnny's fault. And it's like, no, it's
not Johnny's fault.
Not Johnny's fault.
Definitely not Johnny's fault.
Done nothing but try and be just a stand-up guy, and he's getting raw dogged. And it's just sad. You hate to see it.
Raw dogged.
You hate to see it.
Such a term.
So that movie got fired from Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find a Number 3.
Yeah.
This mission. What's up? What about it? Yeah, he was supposed to play like Grindelwald or something. He was reprised his character from the second one.
Yeah, he's the guy that they at the very end found out he was the bad guy.
Right.
Because I'm sure they found out that he was in a lawsuit.
Well, it's kind of like prequel to Harry Potter films, and he was the main character, and it's a multi-million-dollar... Yeah. So that whole series is a prequel to Harry Potter, yes, and he just, she cost him millions of dollars, and I think that's part of the lawsuits he's bringing against her as well. Is he's suing her for what's the legal term for that? Loss of.
It's like slandering, but not slandering.
Well, and you're suing for basically loss of income, but there's a more legal term for it that escapes me at the moment.
Can't think of it either.
Oh God bless! I'm too lazy to look it up right now. But y'all know what we're talking about. That's what's happening.
You can look it up.
You can look
Google,
it up, but
Google will tell you very quickly. But he's gonna have to pay the lawyers to pay the courts, or not to pay the courts, but to.
He's got court fees and legal fees and
come up against the courts and convince them as to why it's all going down.
Yeah, but there was plenty of pictures taken. Like she threw a bottle at him one time and like literally cut the tip of his finger off. One of his fingers, he's missing the tip of his finger because she cut the shit out of it. Like with throwing a bottle at him to defend himself, and he's been injured. Like eyewitnesses like all the time, always say like he's bruised all the time and all this other stuff. He just seems generally sad and down because she's made his life hell.
Because she's batshit crazy, dude.
And that's not us just saying...
No. It's
us being like, we're not being misogynistic dickheads.
No.
This is truth. The truth is she's
if the roles were reversed
crazy.
And he was batshit crazy, I would say he's batshit crazy. I'm not trying to say one party is at fault because of their sex.
This is not one of those things.
One of them is at fault because one of them is batshit crazy.
Yeah, this is not one of those things where the guy is like, oh, she's crazy, I'm trying to leave her. Like, no, this is legitimate. Like, she is absolutely crazy. So, anyway, that's our rant on that.
Tough for Johnny Depp.
It's tough for Johnny. You hate to see it.
Tough for old Johnny. Thoughts and prayers.
I hate that. That sounded so insincere.
Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers for Johnny. Moving on.
It was very insensitive, to be completely honest. I was just being a smartass.
Right. What else is popping, Chad? I mean, we pretty much we breezed through that election stuff, but it's been more of the same that we've been saying since all of this started.
Over the next week, I have a feeling things are going to keep playing out. Honestly, like the last 4 days have been pretty much exactly what everything was planned to be since like Wednesday, Thursday. Like, it's no surprise that Biden is the president-elect, and we'll just have to wait and see what Trump says.
Yeah, we'll wait and see what happens, but it is what it is. We'll keep you guys abreast. We'll keep an eye on it, and next week we'll come back and
we'll keep you abreast
and have another look into it. See what the week holds, and go from there. So yes, combo mission failed. I shaved. I had to shave. I had drill this weekend. I had to get rid of the facial hair. Trying to grow some semblance of it back before next weekend, so I can have some kind of scruff or something going on that looks decent for Hugo's wedding.
Oh yeah, the wedding next weekend.
So the wedding is next weekend. So yeah, tomorrow, guys, I'm
officiating.
If you guys are of that persuasion, thoughts and prayers. I'm traveling tomorrow, so I'll be flying into Kansas City tomorrow and spending the week with my homies. Because on other news, my birthday's on Thursday. And so I'll be hanging out with my boys for that, and then we're going to go up.
We about to have a good time.
And then my buddy, his soon-to-be brother-in-law, is getting married on Saturday.
Who's officiating that wedding?
And Alex is officiating that wedding. Whoop whoop.
Do you, Hugo, take thee, Mary, to be your lawfully wedded wife? Exactly what I'm gonna say.
Yep. So we're gonna have that, and then I'm gonna be. I want to say we'll have a podcast on Sunday, but I got a lot of traveling to do Sunday, and I'm probably not gonna get any sleep Saturday night before my flight leaves. So we might be pushing the podcast to Monday based on how I feel after I get back.
I'll be here.
So we'll see how it goes.
Luckily, I don't have to leave town.
Yeah, must be nice. I don't care. I'm ready for this time off of work. Dark should grow a mustache. Y'all don't want to see me with a mustache. I look like a creepy individual.
For Christmas, I'm gonna cut the Christmas stash.
Movember.
I'm gonna go straight across, and I'm gonna shave everything down here.
You're gonna rock the mutton chops into a stash.
Yep. It's gonna be majestic.
I'll do this for you guys. I will grow the stash out, and I'll grow everything out, and then for one episode, I'll have the stash, and you guys will see how terrible it is, and you'll tell me to get rid of it, and it's just going to be a long process of me getting rid of it because I'm just going to have to grow everything else back. So, or I'll shave it for drill. I'll probably have a drill in December, and I'll just shave it and start over. I know Movember. I know about Movember. It's a charity thing. I get it, but I don't look good with a mustache.
I'll start a GoFundMe that if it gets to like $500, I'll go straight, just mustache only, and donate it to like
Movember or something,
Boys and Girls Club or something.
There you go. But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much. I guess that's it for this week.
Yeah, nice and tight.
Nice and tight, succinct.
Keep it to a nice.
We had 50 minutes.
To a nice tight hour. Yeah, exactly.
50 minutes. That's still good.
Yeah.
I know you guys are gonna bully me no matter what I do with my facial hair. It's my lot in life.
We didn't have an abundance of chat comments, but we had a fair amount.
Yeah, fair amount. It's all good. I'm not too hung up on that. We're just getting it out there. And
no, exactly.
The views and the listens will come when they come, and we'll move on from there. But anyways, Until next week, we'll see you guys later. Be good to each other. Educate yourselves. Be smart. Have a safe week. And yeah, we'll catch you on the flippity flop.
Do something nice for someone.